Well, we must feel enthusiastic and excited to live the day if we are healthy, right? That's why we should have a good lifestyle, such as eating healthy food. Well, speaking of food, October 16th is commemorated as the World Food Day. So, to find out more about the day, it's this year's theme, and so on, let's have a special interview with Rajendra Aryal, FAO representative for Indonesia and Timor Leste, who is already connected on the phone. So, let's say hello to Mr. Rajendra Aryal. Hello, good afternoon from Jakarta, Indonesia. So, how are you today?
I'm good, good, good. Thank you very much, Rama. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good too. So it's very good to hear every time we hear everyone is healthy, especially in this pandemic.
Yep,
Okay.
it's really important to be healthy. Yeah,
Yes, so that's why we should eat healthy and nutritious food, right?
exactly, exactly.
Okay, like what I said before, October 16 is commemorated as the World Food Day. And the theme of World Food Day this year is Our Actions Are Our Future. Better production, better nutrition, a better environment, and a better life, or four betters. And FAO highlights the importance of sustainable agri-food systems for a more resilient world anticipating the future. So, how exactly do you see the current agri-food system and what can we do about it?
Thank you very much, Rama, for this interesting question. Actually, today the agri-food systems are exposed to different challenges, including inequalities or injustices in our society. We also face the external challenges, such as impact of climate change. And it's known that the world now is having huge setback in the fight against hunger. Today, probably you have seen the statistics. Almost one third of the world's population cannot afford a healthy diet in a sustainable manner. At the same time, obesity or overweight is in the rise in many countries. The latest statistics shows that about 811 million people are undernourished, and in contrast, 2 billion adults are overweight, which is mainly due to the poor diets combined with different lifestyle. In Indonesia, if you see the recent data, the number of overweight adults has also doubled over the last 2 decades. At the same time, child obesity is also on the rise. At the same time, 27% of the children in Indonesia below 5 years of age are stunted or not enough tall for that age, which is higher than the average for this region. So now the system, I know the agri-food system, as we are talking about, uh, this covers the journey of food from farm to the fork or farm to the table. So it involves the entire value chain. For instance, how it is grown, harvested, processed, packaged, transported, distributed, traded, and eaten and even disposed, the waste. So this system needs to be transformed in a more sustainable way because our lives depend on the agri-food system. Every time you eat, you participate in the system. So the food we choose and the way we produce, prepare, cook, and store, it all, this whole process is an integral and active part of our life. And this is how the agri-food system works. Over to you, Rema.
Okay, so from now on, we should pay more attention to how we produce, process the food, not only all about eating, eating, and eating, right? So,
Absolutely, absolutely. It's not only eating or throwing. We have to look at,
yeah,
we have to be conscious over the whole chain.
yes, throwing. That's really a very important thing right now. And so, what the Food and Agriculture Organization, government of states, and related agencies will do to bring this theme to a reality?
Well, actually, we are working very closely with the government of Indonesia. It's like starting with Ministry of Agriculture or Bappenas or Ministry of Environment and Forestry, Ministry of Marine Affairs and Fisheries, the National Food Agency, and so on. So this is a sort of like an action where we need to all join our hands together. We also need to work closely with the private sector as they play a very vital role in the whole agri-food value chain. You know, Social safety net, for example, it needs to be enhanced And inclusion remains a key because, Indonesia is geographically so diverse. It's a huge country with more than 70,000 islands. So we need to ensure inclusion of people from all segments of the society and ethnicity. And these remains very key factor to ensure healthy and nutrition food for all. And this is the time that we really need to work together. And FAO as a technical agency or technically specialized agency of the United Nations systems, we work very closely with the government of Indonesia in this endeavor. Over to you, Rama.
Okay, and how about the global level? What has been done by FAO so far to direct countries that have the potential to become the world's food barns to achieve long-term global food security? How significant is the progress?
Well, we have been working, there were very positive trends, there was very good indicators. We are all striving to achieve the sustainable development goals, particular, SDG 2 that we call zero hunger. Despite the growth, there have been significant challenges. Now, if you see in many parts of the world, the pandemic has triggered significant recessions, that has jeopardized access to food and affected the entire food system. Even before the pandemic, the hunger was spreading and the progress on malnutrition was lagging behind. But now the pandemic has put another extra layer of challenges to all of us. And as I mentioned earlier, we are in a situation now where more than 800 million people are estimated to be food insecure or undernourished. You recall probably in September, there was this World Food System Summit, and there was also a report published by FAO coinciding with this Food System Summit, which alarmingly highlighted that the gains made by different countries in achieving the SDGs could be pushed back, could be reversed due to the impacts of pandemic. So we are highly concerned on this situation. And as FAO, as I said, we are technical specialized agency. We are working closely with the government. In particular in Indonesia, we're trying to see where the needs and gaps are. Indonesia is a middle income country. What is necessary at this moment is how we can connect the dots. And as you know, Indonesia would also be chairing the G20. And agriculture remains an important sector. Not only for Indonesia, but for whole of Southeast Asia region or all over Asia. So this is where we really need to work together, and we also need to see a strong leadership from Indonesia, during the chairmanship of the G20. Over to you, Rama.
Okay, and now back to Indonesia, which has what we call National Food Agency, which is one of FAO supports through the National Development Agency. I should say National Development Planning Agency, or Bappenas, which we, Voice of Indonesia, really appreciate. But how do you see this cooperation can be developed to reach bigger result for the people?
Well, Bappenas is it's a very strong agency. I really appreciate the work undertaken, the lead taken by Bappenas. We work very closely with Bappenas, but as I said, it's not only the role of one agency. It's a role of multiple agencies. So we have to work across all the line ministries, and our collaboration with all the line ministries, in particular for FAO, it's Agriculture, Ministry of Energy, Environment and Forestry, Ministry of Marine Affairs and Fisheries, and several others, plus the universities, plus the think tanks, plus the research institutions, and the private sector and the youth. So that's why I said, okay, Bappenas is taking the lead, which is great. But at the same time, it's a multi-stakeholder effort, initiative, or responsibility. So we have to work together with everybody involved.
Yes, together we're stronger.
And together we are stronger, and here is coordination. Both intra and inter ministerial coordination would be necessary, and that's where I think an agency like FAO can fill the gap.
Absolutely. And this year marks the second World Food Day celebrated during pandemic. So how does FAO's concern about this, and how does this affect the agri-food system, and what should we do about it?
Well, I talked about this World Food System Summit on the 21st of September, which was an effort to spur the national and regional action to deliver the 17 Sustainable Development Goals through transformation of food system. Probably the zero hunger, zero poverty, gender equality, climate action. These are very important sustainable development goals. And this global World Food System Summit was attended by 85 head of states. And Indonesia expressed a very strong commitment to transform the agri-food system. Indonesia has also worked, towards ensuring sustainable pathways. And I believe we are moving forward at this front. Challenges are huge, as we all know, and pandemic has even, reversed at some of the SDGs as we talked about. But I think, working together in this fight against hunger and malnutrition, I think we can go there. We can arrive at our destination if we continue working like this. And I stay and I remain positive, Rama, on this. Over to you.
Okay, then what sectors do you think the Indonesian government should pay attention to ensure the agri-food system runs as well as to be able to fight against this pandemic and come out as winner or achiever?
It's again a matter of collective action. We need collective actions to transform our agri-food system. And I would like to reiterate once again, it's not only production. We talked about at the beginning, it comprises the entire agriculture and food value chain. And we are working very closely with the government of Indonesia. And there are four major elements, in particular, the production, which is an important thing to become self-sustaining country. We also need to look at the export. We need to look at access. How do we ensure people have equitable access to food all across the country? And the fourth important element is import. It's also important to see what is the food that comes into the country from outside. At the same time, it's also the responsibility of every individual to understand how we treat the food system. I mean, we are all part of this system. The way we choose, the way we produce or consume, and even waste, we talked about it. Our food, it influences others to ensure healthy tomorrow. And we need to act together, and it must be now, Rama. And that's why we all, both the government and people, need to put our efforts together in whatever capacity we can. It's like our actions are our future, and our future is in our hands. And if we treat our future well, we can all become food heroes with our actions. And as the theme of the World Food Day, as you said at the beginning, there are four better: better production, better nutrition, better life, and better environment. And these four things, these are like key words that we have to keep in mind and act in time to contribute to achieve them. And this is where I think we can transform our agri-food system. We can reduce the poverty, we can reduce the hunger, and we can ensure food secure and the people with a required level of nutrition in a sustainable manner. Over to you, Rama.
All right, Mr. Rajendra, the last question is, well, not actually a question. We would like to invite you to send message to convey to our listeners on this World Food Day, and what real actions that we can do to achieve the four betters in our daily life.
See, I mean, we all go to the shopping malls, we go to the food court, we just consume things, we throw the wastage. I think these are small actions. We need to be cautious. Let's try to see how we can contribute to ensure the four betters, how we can contribute to better production, how we can ensure better nutrition, how we can reduce the food loss and waste, how we can cause minimum damage to the environment. What are the environment-friendly ways that we can practice, in our day-to-day life that ensures a better life, but that also contributes to a better environment? And the action, the charity starts from home. So what I would like to say is that, see, as we say, we are part of this agri-food system in our daily life. So let's think how we can contribute to ensure these four betters, to achieve these four betters, and let's see how we can contribute. And with a small contribution from each individual, like you and me, I think we can bring the change. And that's why, as I said earlier, with our small actions, we can make changes and we can become heroes. That is, I think, that's the message I want to give. Over to you, Rama.
Yes, exactly. So let's start from the small steps, small actions to achieve the bigger ones, right? For this world.
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay, Mr. Rajendra Aryal, thank you so much for this interview in this afternoon. Really insightful and inspiring. Hopefully, our listeners could be more and more encouraged to save the world through the food issue. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Rama. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Have a nice weekend. Stay safe, stay healthy.
Thank you. I wish everybody same. Please stay safe and please stay healthy and save the environment. Bye bye.
Okay, bye bye. All right, VOI listener, that's our special interview on the World Food Day 2021 with Rajendra Aryal, the Food and Agriculture Organization representative for Indonesia and Timor Leste.